Okay, let me see. Assalamualaikum, everyone. We have 126 and Dr. Siti is here.
Yeah, Dr. Iboni, I'm here, Dr. Iboni. Hello, Dr. Iboni. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
All right, okay. I'm here, and is our Shaharam students are here too?
I think most of them dah masuk balik semula. I can
Okay.
see some of them familiar names.
All right, okay. So dah habis ya yang
Dah.
the first
SOP,
session. All right.
yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe I take from here. Thank you. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Siti. I'm the Deputy Dean of Academic Ashoc Ayub Graduate Business School. So first, sorry for keep you waiting. I mean those from state campuses. And we are now for session number 2 or the second session. We'll be with you for briefing on ABP. ABP, what is ABP? What are our expectation and what are the things that you have to fulfill? Yeah, what are the things that in fact you will learn from this particular project? Okay, so first of all, just now I shared with you the video, just a very short PowerPoint slide video. That is actually one of the projects from the my group of students who are the senior managers and executive at Malaysia Airport Holding Berhad. And they were doing a project on the KLIA2 terminal retail business. Yeah, so as you know, for KLIA, they have two, what we call the two areas for consumers to shop. One is gateway, yeah, that is open to everyone. And another one is at the terminal. And their study was focusing on the terminal, yeah, the terminal area, because there are some restriction there. Of course, it's only open to the passengers and staff. And then you see there are some sort of like intra competition. So why I'm sharing that with you to show that this is the so-called as what we mean by applied business research. Yeah, you have to have the so-called as the company, yeah, the company, a real company, a company that exists. Yeah, that is the first thing. Okay, now I will share directly with you because I think we are already behind time. Yeah, let's start directly. I will share with you the slide, yeah, on this ABP briefing. And I will zoom to the main or the key things or concept or components of ABP. Afterwards, I will try to make it like 1 hour. And after that, we're going to have the Q&A session. Yeah, we open to any question. So anything that you are not sure and so on, we can discuss together. All right. So let me share the screen first. Okay, can you see that screen? Yeah, maybe loading. Okay, dah nampak ke belum?
Nampak belum?
Nampak ya?
Oh, tu dah.
Dah, okay. Alright, very good. Okay, I'm going to use this, not the full slide because I'm going to make some notes, yeah, here. Hopefully I can make it here. So I hope that I make it big enough to you. Can you see that? Okay. All right. Okay, good. So this is what why we are here today. So I would like to say thank you to Prof. Dr. Rusrima and Associate Prof. Dr. Nuraini for helping me to prepare this slide. Now I go direct to what are the agenda for today's, yeah. This is the things that I will focus on, maybe not all, because I'm sure at Shah Alam, Dr. Ivoni have briefed the students in Shah Alam, yeah, about what are the requirements of ABP. So I will focus direct on what is ABP and what you are expected, yeah, what is expected from you, what you need to do. Now, before I forget, I would like to highlight the very important point here. In fact, this is something that we make for our students. This one, yeah. How many of you have looked at the MBA Applied Business Project guidelines that we have uploaded in our or to our website? Are you aware that there is a guideline for this? This is a new thing. If you are yet to take a look at that, yeah, please, you just go to the AAGBS website under academics, then you go to the documents, yeah, where you can download this particular guideline. In fact, the slide that I prepared here together with Prof. Rose and Dr. Nuraini is basically the summary of these particular guidelines. So it's available to you, to the coordinators, to the lecturers, as well as the panel of examiners. Okay, so this is the web link of that particular guidelines. Next, I move to this one. Yeah, just now I've shown to you the examples of the so-called as applied research. Now, the basic thing here is that we must be able to just to differentiate, yeah, differentiate between what is basic research and what is applied research. Sorry. Applied research here, yeah, is something that is taken to solve existing problem. Problem of whom? That is the problem that faced by the organization or companies. It's different than basic research because
Tolong mute ya.
boleh tolong mute. Sorry ya, suara I tak berapa okey. Kena COVID baru ni, ya. So just apa dah habislah quarantine, tapi this is part of the things lah, ya. Yang I still, alright. I hope that I'll be doing fine. Now, for basic research, it's very much about contributions to the knowledge, yeah. Knowledge development for future use, and that goes to the contributing to the existing body of knowledge. So usually those that doing basic research are on the doctoral part in particular. We're talking about PhD, for instance, or MSc, Master in Science. But for MBA, this is the focus. Yeah, this is the focus. This is for the MBA because MBA for the managerial management, so that we undertake the research, or you should take the research to solve the existing problems of any particular company of your choice. Yeah, so that is the basic thing between differentiation between basic research and applied research. So let me go further on this one. What does it mean by applied research? Yeah, so it is a research that is done with the intention of, the keyword here is applying. Apply what? Apply the result of scientific, or the results of finding to solve specific problems. Problem, again, as I said to you just now, problem of whom? Problem of what? That is a problem that is faced by the organization. And as we know, the companies are operating on a very challenging environment. That's the reason why applied business research normally will just take a very short time. Yeah, it doesn't take like few years. So in your case, we do it for 2 semesters. And the key word here is that you must find a real organization or a real company. Yeah, so mesti exist. Yeah, yang wujud. Mesti ada. That company exists. Whether it is the government-linked organization or corporation, GLC, for instance, private company, public institution, SMEs, any organization, but it is a real organization. It exists. That is the key points. Now, the next one is this, I don't think I need to, Dr. Ivoni, on this part of the ABP process. Perhaps just briefly, we have you have two stages here. One is the proposal stage, and another one is the final report and presentation. And I believe for today's session, the students, all of you are some coming from the first stage, some are coming on now at ABP 792. So I hope this would help. We hope that it will help you, whether you are at proposal stage or at the final report and presentation stage. So a bit about the requirement of ABP. I just want to highlight these 2 points. Okay, so this is about the length of your proposal and the final report or presentation, dissertation. Now, based on the MQA requirement 2021, the minimum total words is 15,000. This is minimum. So, basically, in ABP, we have 5 chapters. Yeah, this is common, common. 5 chapters. You can have 6 if you want, or 7, it's up to you. But 5 is common. Now, why I'm highlighting this is because I want you to focus on quality writing or quality write-up. It's not about it is 80,000 words, 50,000 words. But what about the quality of the write-up? Now, if you take these 5 chapters as the final report, if you divide by 15,000, what would be the total word for one chapter? Will be about one chapter,
2,000.
more or less. 5 chapter divided by 15K.
3,000.
Yeah,
3,000,
more or
Doctor.
less. Yes, that's right. More or less 3K. Yeah, more or less 3,000 words. Now, that is for your final presentation or the final, dissertation. Yeah, what I mean here is dissertation. So, when you transform or you backward, you masuk to proposal. Now, the recommended total words for proposal, there is no sort of like one requirement, but to help you, we have put the recommended total words between 8,000 to 10,000 words. Meaning to say, for proposal, you have 3 chapters. Betul? Kan? Chapter 1 to chapter 3. Introduction, literature, and research methodology. So just now, if we take... Sekejap ya. If we take 5K, 3K for one chapter, so you will have 9K, more or less. What is accepted here or recommended for proposal? It's between 8K to 10K. Yeah, it's between that. So when you move to the final dissertation, you are actually about to finish another 2 chapters. And that 2 chapters is more or less like another 6K or 4K. Yeah, so roughly you will what we call achieve that, or would be able to produce the ABP dissertation of about that 15 or 16,000. Minimum is 15,000. If let's say it become 15,500, that's fine. If the quality, the requirements are all there. So again, what I'm emphasizing here is that please, produce quality work. It's not about how long you write, but it's about the quality, the quality of your work. So this, we hope that it will help you, to guide you how much that you need, how many words that you need to write. So from here, you dah boleh buat structure of the structure and substructure of each of the so-called as the content of your proposal, as well as your dissertation or final dissertation. Okay. If let's, I don't know if any of you have a question so far here, or we go to Q&A at the end. Teruskan ya. Okay, alright. Teruskan. Now, let me bring you to the whole context of the ABP, to the whole context of ABP. So, roughly, this is how it works, for the so-called as applied business project. We start from the industry. Industry, I means the companies, because the industry is made up by companies. And what it means here is that the industry are so huge, so that you can choose any of the companies that operating in any of this industry. It could be from the tourism, for instance. It can be from the sector of oil and gas, entertainment, or education, insurance, banking, cosmetic, and whatever, the products, consumers product, transportation, property or real estates, and many other industry. You can choose any company that coming from, again, the various industries. Now, why you need them? Because your study, this is the focus. This is the focus. So you need to find what are the current problem or issues faced by that particular company. Faced by the company. So you are here. You are the research consultant. This is you. This is you. Put yourself as the research consultant, something like you've been paid by the company to carry out a research for them. But of course, this is not being paid. You are not being paid by the company. This is for learning process. This is for the learning experience. But I would always suggest to my students to see yourself as the research consultant. Trust me, it will help you a lot to see the things from different perspectives. In fact, most of you are working, so it is something which is, to me, it's not that difficult for you to visualize what is ABP. So, talking about the company, those that working, perhaps you want to choose a company where you work with, or a company that is belong to you if you run any business. It's okay, as long as the company is real company. That is the key things, Okay, real company. So you can choose any of these. For the full-time students, it is no problem at all. You can, you can approach any of the company. You can ask a letter from the office for you to approach the company. This is all can be done. And of course, it is part of the things, the assistance that we provide to our students. Now, when you have selected that the company, you may sit with them because you may start your problem statement with according to the marketing manager. This is what they face. So that is how you start. And also, of course, you will be doing a lot of reading about the industry, about the market, because this is applied research. So you want to know what is the profile of consumers of these types of products, example. What is the market size of this particular product category, example. What is the total value of sales generated by this company? Who are their main competitors and so on. So you are bringing all this input about the industry and the company to help you identify what are the problems that have been faced by the company. Okay. Now, you as the consultant here, so based on this one, ni kenapa ada ni, these two? Because you work together with the company. Yeah, you work together with the company. Now, after you have identified the problem that they face, then you are conducting the project. Why? Because you want to recommend the possible solutions to the company. So it goes back to the company. And that's the reason why in ABP, it's very important to have the objective to recommend, to propose strategy on, Yeah, because that is the reason why you carry out this research, yeah, to find, to develop strategy for the company. Okay. Now I'm moving to the next slide that is about how ABP 791 and 792 link to BRM 701. Okay, so in our curriculum, the MBA curriculum, this is how we structured that. You, as the student, you will take this course or you have taken this course. This course, BRM 701, Business Research Methodology, is there to help you to develop the proposal and to carry out the final project. Right? So some of you, if you are taking 701 at the same semester, you may take the same project. Yeah, it's like 2-in-1 to help you further strengthen your proposal. And of course, for this part, you have been, or you will be with your supervisor or advisor. Yeah, supervisor or advisor. So kat sini ada one ni what we call assistant or guide lah, to guide you. And here you have your own lecturer. Okay, all right. So some of you may come from non-business, non-business. So you may not have some background of what is business research, and that's the reason why we have BRM 701 for our students to help you gain the skill of what is research. What is research? So you may learn about both basic and applied research, but for ABP, the focus is on applied business research. So focus on that part. But at the same time, you already have some knowledge that how ABP is different than basic research. You know what you're doing. That is the key things. Now, very quickly, I'm coming to this so-called as the research process. And of course, I believe you learned this in your BRM course. This is the key steps of research process. Every research will start with the recognize the need for research. Maksudnya, you buat research tu untuk apa? Is there any needs for the research? How significant the study is? How significant the study is. And from there, you define the research problem and objective clearly. Then you develop the research plan here, of course, how you're going to do this and that. And you move to designing methods for collecting data. After the plan are all good, then only you move to data collection, process and analyze the data, and finally preparing the research report and communicate the findings. This is where you have the so-called as viva session. Okay. So from here, this is basically the key, what we call contents of your proposal as well as your final report. Introduction, have a look at the introduction. Again, we are talking about applied business research. Now, you're going to start with the background of the industry and the company. All right? A company will belong to a particular industry. So you need to also talk about the industry, as I said to you, the market analysis of the industry and so on. Then you move to, what about this company? Where they are? What are the products they produce and so on, right? And of course, motivation of the study, it goes back to, will help you to link to the key issue and the problem statement to be investigated. Then you move to research objective. From here, also, you can come up with the research questions, significant, why the study is important, the scope of study, and definition of terms. Okay, so I'm not going very detailed of this because, again, I'm sure you learn this through your BRM course, but just to highlight some of the key points here. Now, about the review of literature, this is very important, yeah, for us to understand, yeah, to understand. Tadi nak link dengan the context of ABP itself. We said that ABP is an applied business research. Then, what's to do with review of literature? Okay, so although it is an applied business research, of course, it needs some literature. Yeah, it needs some literature. The literature here are the key relevance and significant studies. Study apa? Past studies in that particular area that we want to study. Okay, remember just now I shared with you the airport retail business. Yeah, airport retail business. So the study, the main domain of the study is about airport retail. So my student, what they have to do is to go for the literature in this particular area of airport retail, yeah, airport retailing. So there are many past study talking about this or studying this airport retail business. From there, they are able to find out what are the key variables that need to be studied or need to be included or excluded from the study. So at the end, you are looking at you punya references ni, maksudnya your key readings. If I can categorize it, perhaps it will come from three main source of or types of what we call references. One is the academic references or academic journal. Yeah. So academic journal very much about to find out the variables. Yeah. So those that doing quantitative. You must be familiar with the key term of variables, factor that you want to study, concept, construct. So this coming from very much of your reading on academic journal. Yeah, academic journal. Just now we talk about the industry. Macam mana nak dapat info about this industry? Then you may look at the market review. Yeah, you may look at the market report that usually are prepared by the company such as Statista.com, Nielsen.com, what else? Euromonitor, yeah, or even newspaper and so on, business magazine and many more. Yeah, in fact, some it can come from the government's report. So you have this, yeah, at least 2 or 3 types of. Wait a minute, yeah. Okay. Sekejap ya. Okay, so let me continue this, right? So what is literature? It's not a compilation of facts and feelings, but it is a coherent arguments that leads to the description of a proposed study. Meaning to say, when you do a review, it doesn't mean that you just summarize what you read, or what you understand, It's not just about summary. It goes beyond that. You must be able to analyze, synthesize, and evaluate. So at the end, when you do that reading, you will have this question of, so what? So what means that, how this, what you found out, the points, the analysis, how it will help you to develop your study. And that would definitely require in the write-up. So you are saying that this have been done, these are what, and so on. So these factors are important because of what and so on. And that is supported by your literature review. Okay. So you have this, based on that one, you will be able then to develop your conceptual framework. Meaning to say this conceptual framework will come from your review of literature in that particular area. Yeah, so there are many areas of study. So your area of study ni belong to what? You are looking the literature from this area, right? And then next is the academic construct. This is something which is make ABP or to further differentiate basic research and applied research. In ABP, we do have the so-called as academic construct. And what is this academic construct? It is where you are also incorporating the business model or business tools in your framework, research framework, yeah, the so-called as academic construct. Now, I will show you the example here because what we want from you is that you are showing your what we call the understanding and ability to integrate both. Integrate both here, both is where we mean by both, cannot write here. Okay, this is your conceptual, yeah, conceptual framework, variables that you found from your literature, plus the appropriate or relevant business model or business tools, right? You have to have developing this skill of integrating both of these, yeah? Now we look at just the conceptual framework. Well, it will be very much about basic research. Applied research again is at the end, tengok balik, ya, kita nak solve this problem or to provide possible strategy to the company. So it shouldn't just come from the academic perspective. You must also take into consideration what are the business tools that is available to help you to find an answer for the problem that is faced or identified faced by the company. So this is just an example. Yeah, we have one or two examples here. This is, you look at the example here. This is the research objective. Of course, it is drawn from the problem statement. Yeah, from the problem statement. So this is the research objective. The four research objective. And okay, let me touch first here on this number 1 and number 2. Yeah, number 1 and number 2. So this number 1 and number 2. You tengok yang tu dulu. Yeah, number 1, number 2. Okay, number 1 and number 2. And the objective, yeah, is to guide, yeah. The purpose of the objective is to guide your study, what you want to achieve, in other words, yeah, like puts that way. So this need to be transformed to the so-called as a framework, yeah, a framework. So based on these four objective, right, ni yang kita panggil sebagai integration, ya, integration between the construct, the so-called as conceptual, and the business tool or business model. So based on these four objective, this is the academic construct, yeah, or the research framework of the study. Now, the first one here, the first part is to help the students or the student come up with that to fulfill or to achieve this objective, objective number 1. Yeah, we talk about to understand current situation. All right, fine, but how do we do that? What will guide us to find out, understand what is the current situation in which the firm is operating? Why you want to know that? That is to determine or to identify the competitive position of the company. Now, to do so, one way is that you are using SWOT analysis. So I'm sure you are familiar with this, yes, SWOT analysis. So it is here. It is here for objective number 1. And then if you look for objective number 2, to determine the needs of existing customer on distribution channel intensity. This is something about channel management. Then this is the so-called as conceptual framework, right? Where this coming from? From the literature, yeah, from the literature. Why you want to study these 3 variables? Because it is supported by the literature. Why not 4? Why not 5? Why you drop this and that and so on? They are all coming from your reading. your literature, yeah, the analysis that you have done on the past studies. So that is the so-called as ni academic lah ni, yeah, very what you call a conceptual, yeah, conceptual framework. And then the next objective, you have this to assess the firm capability in meeting customer needs. So there is another business tools that we use here, incorporating in the framework. For what? To answer question or the objective number 3. And finally, for objective number 4, as I said to you, at the end, you are carry out the research to help you identify possible appropriate recommendation and strategies to be forwarded to the company. That's the reason why you must have, I say it must, you must have objective number 4. That is to recommend appropriate, what is it? In this case, it's about channel strategies. Yeah. So this number 4 is represented by this particular model or this particular sub-framework. That is for objective number 4. And another example that we can share here is that it's a bit small. Let me make it bigger. Okay, so this is something about brand management. Yeah, it's about brand management. So first, to perform a situational analysis of the name of the company. How are you going to do that? Okay, in this case, the students will carry out the RFE and EFE metrics, yeah, another business tool or business model. How to ascertain, yeah, to ascertain the current level of brand awareness. And then you have this, yeah, number 2 and number 3. They are interrelated because they are, yeah, being represented by one conceptual framework. Conceptual framework tu yang mana? Yang tengah ni. This is again coming from the literature review, yeah, from your reading of the past studies in brand management, in particular about brand awareness. So from your reading, you find out that, okay, these are the things that need to be included in the study. These are the things that need to be examined. These are the things that you have to have come out with a survey form, the questionnaire, yeah, to get the answer from the respondents. So it's about brand name, logo, slogan, packaging, and how that link or help to build brand awareness. So that goes to objective number 2 and 3. And finally, again, to recommend, a must, yeah, to recommend apa? Yeah, so in this case, to recommend measure that could enhance brand awareness of the XX brand. So how to do that? Based on this, what we call as the framework and the business tools or business model, you are, in this case, not you, the students, yeah, the student, they were using TOES metric. So from this TOES metric, it will help you, I mean the student, to fulfill objective number 4. Okay, so I'm not going to explain what is TOES metric, SWOT analysis, and so on. I'm sure you have learned that not only in the BRM, in fact, not in the BRM, but throughout your study of the MBA. Yeah, you learn about strategic marketing management, about global business, about what else? Human resource or talent management, about strategic management. This is where ABP is a place where you are applying what you have learned, yeah, throughout the MBA study. Okay, so TOES metric is here to help the students to answer objective or to fulfill objective number 4. Okay, and then we also have another one. This is also, yeah, in your in the guideline tu ada. Okay. Now, I move to research methodology. It's very much about how will you carry out the research, how will you analyze your data, and what you need to do here is to clearly justify your decision, yeah, to justify your decision. This methodology, it can be in a form of qualitative research, or some of you will be carrying out quantitative research, yeah, either one. So you have to, in proposal, you have to plan how are you going to conduct the research, to carry out the research? Yeah, from design of the research up to how to analyze the data. You don't have any data yet. I mean, the primary data in particular during proposal stage, but you have identified what kind of data that you need. How are you going to get the data? Whether you're going to interview, you're going to do focus group, you're going to do questionnaire, all right? And how are you going to analyze the data? Data tak ada lagi, tapi analysis plan mesti sudah ada. Yeah, you need to have that. So that later when you conduct you collect the data, you already know how are you going to analyze the data, what kind of data analysis technique that you want to use, what kind of software that you want to use, and so on. Okay, to make it clear and justify every of your decision, because there are many ways to do research. There are many ways to do research. Yeah, it's all your choice. What going to get you here? That is your research objective. Yeah, and the problem statement. Itu dia punya guide dia. Problem statement dengan objective. Macam mana nak capai or fulfill the objective to help you to find an answer to the problem statement. So how are you going to carry out the research? You must justify that. So this is all about data analysis and findings. Yeah. So how will you report the results? What is important here, if we move to chapter 4, yeah, when you already have the findings, you already have the data, you must be able to interpret the data that you have. Yeah. So it's not just about numbers. It's not just about statistics, but what does it mean? What does it mean? Yeah. And how it connect to your research objective. Interpretation is very important here. That's what we want to see from you. Okay, so this is another part about the data analysis techniques. We're talking about inferential analysis. Should you use in any inferential analysis? Now the answer is it all goes back to your research objective. Yeah, to your research objective. If you want just to identify the differences between group A and group B, example, so you may want to conduct t-test. Now, the next question is, you have to justify why you want to use t-test. What does it mean by the results? Yeah, the result, what does it mean? T-test, significant, not significant, what does it mean? All right, so it's all going back to the interpretation. Meaning to say, it's not just about you just do it. Yeah, what more important here, I really need to emphasize on this is that during the Viva, what we want to see from you is that you know what you're doing. Yeah, you know what you're doing. What does it mean? So it doesn't have to be something which is complicated, complex. Yet when you need to defend your research, your finding, there will be some sort of like, not really convincing. Yeah, not really convincing. So it's all always going back to that problem statement, research objective, and of course, you know what does it mean, yeah, the interpretations of the findings, okay? And I would like to emphasize a bit on this one because some may have some what we call confusion, perhaps, yeah, of the needs for having hypothesis, yeah, hypothesis. Okay. Now the key point here is that, or the key rules here is, yeah, in ABP or applied business project, hypothesis is not compulsory. Yeah? It is not compulsory for you to come up with the hypothesis. However, if you want to do it, go ahead. Yeah, if you want to do it, go ahead. Nothing going to stop you there. Yeah. So if you have the hypothesis, make sure you do it accurately. You do it accordingly. Meaning to say, you must study it from the very beginning. Yeah, from the very beginning. And then in literature, you dah develop the hypothesis. In methodology, you have said that how are you going to test the hypothesis? Chapter 4 finding, what is the results of your hypothesis testing? And when you move to conclusion, what does it mean? You said that H1 is rejected. Fine. What does it mean? How would you connect this to your research objective and research problem statement? Yeah. So if you want to do research hypothesis, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. But just make sure you do it accordingly. But what we emphasize here is that for ABP, hypothesis statement is not compulsory. Yeah, it's not compulsory. Why? Because to us, yeah, for applied business research, a very clear statement of the research objective is sufficient enough to guide the students to go for the data collection, data analysis, and so on. All right. So this is things that I think need to be highlighted to all of you. All right. Now, I also have to mention this. Some of you may do research in finance, for instance. That is a bit different, yeah? Finance and economics. In finance and economics, usually they do have this hypothesis. So if that is required by the field of the study, please go ahead, yeah? Please do it. For other than that, for instance, I'm from marketing, yeah? So most of marketing research, for applied business research, we're not really going for hypothesis, yeah? So kalau in my case, I always ask my students to state the objective clearly and use that for the next what we call process, yeah, of the research. However, if your supervisor said that no, you need to do the hypothesis because you already have the conceptual framework, go ahead. It shouldn't be any big issue or big problem. Yeah, just do it accurately and correctly. That's it. Okay. Now, when you already have the data findings, analysis, then only you will be able to write the conclusion and recommendation. Now, the question here is about what can you conclude? Yeah, what can you conclude? So this is where you have to have the skills to relate what you found to your research problem statement and the research objective. That is a simple guide. Yeah, I must say so. Yeah, this is how you're going to write your recommendation and your conclusion. Okay. There are also some cases where students or even some lecturers may have different thought on this. Should we go for recommendation and conclusion or conclusion and recommendation? Which one first? This is your chapter 5. Yeah, this is chapter 5. Now, it all goes back to you. If you want to make a conclusion, after the conclusion, then only you talk about recommendation. Meaning to say, in your conclusion part, none of the recommendation will be highlighted because you are just doing the concluding of the findings. Nothing to do with any recommendation because you are yet to do so. However, if you do, you terbalikkan, if you do recommendation and conclusion, so that dalam conclusion you must state or you must conclude what are or re-highlight what are the key recommendation to this particular study. Okay, so this recommendation will or are referring to your objective number 3 or number 4 that is about to recommend appropriate strategy ... Ya, to recommend apa. Inilah dia punya place for you to highlight what are the recommendation. So macam mana pun kena link dengan objective of the study. We don't want to see something like objective to recommend appropriate strategy for this and that. However, when it comes to recommendation, you are talking about something else. Not even touch what you have put in the objective. So kat situ tak link, yeah? It is not aligned. So what you need to do is, again, always take the objective as the guide. You buat ni untuk apa? To achieve objective number 4. Okay. So objective number 4 is about what? Recommendation for what? On what? And this is going to help you. Yeah, dia akan narrow you punya ni lah, maksudnya to be more focused rather than talking about this and that. Okay. And when we talk about recommendation, one key important thing here is that it's not about you come up with a long list of recommendation. No, it doesn't work that way. What is needed here is that how feasible the recommendations are to the company. There is no point for us to address recommendation number 1, perhaps until number 6, number 7. But then when you look back at the capability of the company itself Example, they may have some constraint in terms of financials. Example, so ask yourself whether recommendation number 2, for instance, is feasible or not to the company. If yes, okay. If not, then think about something else. What else that you can do using the data that you have? What kind of recommendation that you can put forward to the company? Remember, it's not about a long list. It's about how feasible, how appropriate, how relevant the recommendations are. Yeah, where it coming from? Kalau kita tengok one example here. Yeah. Okay, from this example, kat mana datangnya recommendation ni? The input coming from your questionnaire, for instance here. Yeah, you buat questionnaire, you buat survey, you got the data, you do IFE and EFE metrics. Then from there, you come up with those metric. Daripada those metric ni lah kita buat or kita identify the recommendations for the company. Yeah, jadi everything must connect. So dalam framework, yang sangat penting adalah you tengok arrow, yeah, the arrow where it turning to and from. This is all showing the connection between one stage or one process to another, one component to another. Yeah, so ni it's very ni, yeah, very critical. Tengok betul-betul dia ke mana, yeah, each of this arrow. Okay. So I'm almost coming to the end of the presentation. Then we're going to move to the Q&A session. Yes, recommendation here. And then this one, evaluation. I may not need to emphasize on this, yeah, Dr. Ivoni. The components and also the assessor, yeah. So perhaps, yeah, from Cawangan, I'm sure your coordinator also will brief you on this, but if you want me to just highlight the key things here, for ABP 791, that is proposal. Proposal ni assessor seorang saja. That is your advisor, 100%. You are with your advisor, right? And that assessment components come from introduction, literature, methodology, and the research proposal itself. Yeah, the report, the write-up of the proposal. Okay. And the next one is your 792, those that are going for Viva and submission of the final report this semester. Yeah, this is how are you going to be assessed. The total mark is 100%, but the assessor are 3. Yeah, 3. Your own advisor, 40%, examiner 1, 30%, examiner 2, 30%. So at the end, markah yang you dapat, grade yang you dapat tu adalah combination of these 3 or the marks that are given by these 3 panels. Yeah, your advisor, examiner 1, and examiner 2. How the assessment or the component of the assessments looks like, this is how is it. Yeah, data collection, final report, viva voce ataupun presentation. Yeah, viva voce tu 30%. Final report 60%. Paling penting lah, yeah, of course lah, the key content semua dalam final report. Okay. And I would like to touch a bit about the roles of advisor. Of course, you as the student, you have your own roles to perform. As the advisor, we also have our own, the role, yeah, the function of advisor. Okay, so if you look carefully to this, advisor will act as an independent sounding board. Yeah, independent sounding board. He or she will assist you in set up the strategic agenda. And lots of this role is part of it is including to help students to identify blind spots, yeah, blind spot, and to help the students to think out of the box, yeah, out of the box. So all of this, kalau you tengok carefully, advisors are not making any decision for you, yeah, as the students. We are giving you some advice or some guide on this one. For instance, if we talk about blind spot, yeah, you may say that, or you may propose you want to do a research on this. This is how are you going to collect the data. Yeah, this is how you're going to collect the data. Then the advisor may help you to identify, all right, if this is the research you want to do. First question is the data accessible to you? Maksudnya you boleh dapat data ataupun tidak. Yeah, because sometimes you may, orang kata apa, this is what you want to do. So you are excited perhaps, yeah, this is what I want to study, we want to study. But then you may, some area you mungkin you think that it is durable, tapi bila your advisor asks you more and more, why they ask you more and more is to help you to be more critical in the sense that asking yourself whether this is durable or not, whether it can be done or not. Itu maksud feasible, boleh buat ke tidak, boleh dapat data or not, what about the time frame that you have. Kadang research tu perhaps at the first place, where you do brainstorming with your friends and so on, you identify the problem and the objective. Sometimes it is too many, too many things in one research, too many problems that you want to solve just by doing one research, and that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So as the advisor, we will help you to identify what exactly the problem that you want to study. The same thing goes to the we talk about problem, at the same time ada symptom, at the same time ada effect ataupun outcome. So sometimes we think that okay, this is what we want to study. Tapi bila kita tanya lagi our student, to ask them to find the data, to do more reading and so on, you may later on realize that apa yang you kata problem tu sebenarnya adalah symptom. It's not the problem, it's the symptom. And we are not here or doing the research to solve the symptom, but it's about solving the problem. So kena differentiate lah. Ini symptom ke apa? Okay, just to share with you example lah ni Baru ni I kena COVID. So every day kena update dalam MySejahtera. So when I look at the question of that MySejahtera, they are asking you about your condition lah, how are you today, in terms of apa, dia batuk tak, sakit tekak tak, demam tak, rasa macam nak tak okay kan, macam mana you feel apa nak, those yang kena COVID pun tahulah apa soalan-soalan everyday that you need to fill up, you need to answer. So if we look closely, these are the symptoms. These are the symptoms. Sakit tu COVID, tapi yang demam, batuk semua tu adalah symptom. So that we are talking about how to cure lah from COVID. Itu dia punya tu, bukannya ialah batuk demam tu adalah ubat dia, tapi that's not the main things. That's not the main thing. It's about COVID, the sickness, right? So the same thing goes here to the organization. If you talk about sale makin lama makin rendah. Okay, fine. Is it an indicator of something? A symptom of something? Or is it the results of something? Maksudnya isu dia punya tu adalah outcome ataupun effect of something. Something tu lah yang you nak study. That is the real problem that you want to study. So kena tengok balik apa yang you nak ni. It's okay, you may want to start with something, at least you'll be able to identify the symptom, the effect and so on. From there you move on, you going in depth, you do more reading, you interview the company representative and so on to know what exactly the problem is. And you are here again to carry out the research to find an answer for that problem statement, not the symptoms, not the outcome or the effect of that particular problem. All right. So all of this, again, as I said to you, the supervisors, they are not making any decision for you. You need to make the decision and justify your decision and convince your advisor. This is how we see this. This is how we're going to do that and so on. Trust me, your advisor will give some input to you. You are not there asking your advisor, should we do this? Should we? No, that's not the questions. That's not the question. You justify that. This is the kita panggil sebagai apa nama, critical thinking lah. Critical thinking and decision making. Okay, so I think that's already 1 hour. So Dr. Ivoni, I'm going to stop here the presentation. Maybe we can take some questions from our students.
Okay,
Ken.
Okay.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Siti. Alright. Untuk yang bertanya sebelum tu saya nak jawab dekat sikit lah. Questions that you ask here. I'm so sorry sometimes I may be a bit blunt and harsh. You know why? Because you as the master's level students, postgraduate, we have a lot. Do you know that AAGBS has a website, a beautiful website that has a lot of information in the website? So please take your time and browse the website. Okay, not that I don't want you to learn the shortcut way. If you were in the tadi masa SOP briefing tu, I managed to show a bit where you should get the whatever lah ya, things that is related to ABP and ABP. We have the forms there. We have how to name your files there. We have the ABP guidelines there. So rule number one, explore AAGBS website. Please, we've spent a lot of time, Encik Azmil spent a lot of time, the faculty spent a lot of time to build the content in the website. If you don't visit your own website, AAGBS website. Jadi kita rasa macam wasting our time lah. Okay, so please, tolong masuk AAGBS website, go to academic office, and then ada part student kat situ banyak, semua dokumen ada dalam tu. Tolong explore, make it a habit to find in the AAGBS website first. So everybody, please do so. Number two, the briefing slides yang tadi and the info pack untuk schedule, I have shared in the Telegram. So you can download that. Okay, what I want you to do is download it, okay, save it and share it with your advisor later, so that your advisor know what to do and what are your expected deadlines. I am not going to share that with the lecturers because I want you to bring them. It's part of the strategy for you to bring, the document, the PDF, and show that to your advisor. Adalah something that you want to discuss or start the ball rolling for ABP. Okay, so bring that document nanti later untuk ABP 792. I think you dah boleh discuss dengan your advisor kan. For ABP 791, once you get the names, siapa your approved advisor, you can start with that. Okay, doctor, I am your I'm the group that is assigned to you. Okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, and this is the planning for this semester. So at least you have something to start the ball rolling and communication. Okay, that is only applied to AAGBS students in Shah Alam. For those from branches, you have to refer to your coordinator dekat branch. They have their own planning. Okay, they have their own planning. So for AAGBS student in Shah Alam, please refer to that info pack schedule. Okay, untuk you get the ball rolling to discuss with your advisor. Okay, kadang-kadang you malu, segan kan, tak tahu apa nak cakap dengan advisor. Use that as an opportunity to discuss with them. So I think that's all. Now we open for this Q&A macam Dr. Siti said.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Okay, please, yeah, anything that you feel, you're not sure or what. In particular, we talk about the ABP itself, rules and regulations semua tu ya, as what Dr. Ivoni said, please be alert. Itulah I nak say ya, be alert. I know most of you are working, tapi still lah ya, pasal academic, ada deadline and so on, ada forms, process and procedures, just be alert. Make sure you know what is it, yeah, and so on. Okay, now just please feel free to ask questions that about ABP, yeah, about ABP. Any of you, yeah, please.
Assalamualaikum, Doctor.
Waalaikumsalam. Can you introduce your name, yourself,
Sure.
yeah, and
Sure.
kalau from state or Shah Alam, please let us know. Thank you.
Okay, sure. My name is Hasliza Ibrahim. I'm from UiTM Pematang Pauh. So I'm in part 3, ABP 791. First, thank you, Doctor, for your presentation. Your health condition as well. So we really appreciate. Right. So for my question, I know we will cover this in the class. I just take this opportunity to ask, when you mentioned it have to be existing company that we have to select, okay? So is it considered like more than 1 year to be classed as an existing company? What if, the company is just a startup company, but they stay in the industry, for example, 1 year? Can we consider to take, their issue, problems, to solve as a sample for this ABP. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you, Hasriza, for the question. Yes, the answer is yes. You can take the company. The point here is that the company must exist, yeah, but it doesn't say that it has been like 10 years in the industry or what, yeah. Different company, we have to recognize here, they may face different condition, different situation. For a small company, the challenges might be a bit different than those that are going to sustain their position in the industry. Let's say they have been like 15 years in the industry. So Hasriza, go ahead, you can take that the company. You can, I'm sure a lots of issue that you can address there, but be focused. Fokus pada satu problem, ya. Always remember that. Research ni dia mesti fokus. Okay, Hasriza. Thank you very
Doctor.
much. Okay, you're welcome. Yang lain, any question about ABP?
Hello, Doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes, Zai.
Okay.
Understand?
I'm Zai from UiTM Shah Alam. Okay. I have 3 questions with regards to the submission of the form for ABP 791. Okay. The first one in terms of because in the form I just glance through is only we have to put the suggested topic and also the advisor, right?
Yes,
Only these
correct.
2 part. So the suggested topic, is there any criteria or guideline? Means in terms of do you have to fix the title, or it can just be simple one, then you can rephrase the title later. And then the second question is on the advisor. Is the advisor need to be stationed at, if I'm from Shah Alam, so it must be from
Yes.
AAGPS, or can I get from other faculty or maybe other state? And then the third one is on the company. For this part, do we need to get the consent from the company before we proceed further lah? Because we don't want to proceed something, then we cannot proceed further before we
Or-
submit the proposal.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think I will answer that. Yeah. All right, Zai. Thank you for the questions. We have 3 on the topic: advisor and company. Let me address the topic first. Yeah. As for the topic, it is a general topic. Whatever topic, it's not the title. Ada difference between topic and title. Topik could be very general. Contohnya, you nak buat consumer behavior ataupun customer loyalty for ABC ice cream. Contoh ABC ice cream Sendirian Berhad. So that is considered as topic ataupun area. But title later, it will be refined. In research, there's not fixed. The title is not fixed until you are sure what you want to do. Okay. So we just need a general topic. Contoh kita nak tahu macam Dr. Siti cakap tadi, whether if we are doing a marketing, customer loyalty, it's already know marketing. So in our head, it's about marketing. Customer loyalty in ABC Sendirian Berhad contohnya. Ataupun you want to do management issues, leadership in whatever, in ABC Sendirian Berhad. Ataupun work-life balance amongst what we call employees of ABC Sendirian Berhad. Okay, that is what it meant by topic ataupun area of interest. It's not the title but the topic. Why? Because we need to look at the topic later and match you with the advisor. Okay. Number 2, your advisor. Now, advisor for Shah Alam, please put in the lecturers in Shah Alam. Okay. Untuk cawangan, please refer to the lecturers in cawangan. For Shah Alam, we have also business faculty. But not all from the business faculty can supervise you, because if they don't teach AAGBS, okay, mereka tidak mengajar kod-kod di AAGBS, they will not be listed in our final list. So the answer is Zai, you are a student of Shah Alam, please choose somebody from Shah Alam, Selangor, Selangor, campus Selangor Shah Alam lah. Okay. Or contohnya you ada one of your lecturer semester ni is from FBM, contoh ya. So you can perhaps nominate because he or she is teaching AAGBS. Alright, itu rule number 1. Okay. And then the last one is company. Now, of course, in order for you to understand what is the actual real problem for the company, you need to approach the company. So it is a yes and no answer. Why I say yes and no answer? Do you need get consent? Of course, you need to get a consent from the company. Kan? You need to interview. Kalau dia tak bagi consent, you will never get to interview them. So you need to speak to them, or if you have any idea, okay, speak to them, explain that you are doing this project, and you need to identify real business problem of the company. If would they want to participate and help you in the project? Okay, that's how you should do it. Okay. Again, you tak boleh buat anonymous company, because if it is an anonymous company, then we query whether the problem is a real business problem or not. So macam Dr. Siti kata tadi, that's why we need you to find a real active company for you to be able to identify a real business problem for you to do your project. So that brings about to another question, is whether or not you need to get the letter. This is also a yes and no answer. Some company, they trust, okay, they trust the people who approach them, and they don't request any letter. It's based on mutual understanding. Perhaps when you email them, or they will just say, can you email to me what is your proposal about, what is the thing that you need to do for the project. So you email to them and they jawab yes. That's good enough. But for some companies, they would request you, can you get me an official letter from the faculty? Then you would need to get the official letter from the faculty. It is not a most of my students, so far my students tak ada yang get the official letter, because they are able to explain to the company that they are doing this, they are from UiTM, they had a good conversation, they are able to, convince the owner, the CEO, the manager, whatever it is, that they are a student of UiTM. I understand why some companies may want the letter, because maybe they need that to put in their profile, okay, that they have, these are the students that they, have worked with, have helped with projects in terms of, university students, or sometimes, maybe because now scammers banyak sangat ni dalam dunia ni kan, dia tak nak maklumat dia terlepas keluar. Anybody, any Tom, Dick and Harry can just say, I'm a student of UiTM, I need to. So they are willing to share, but mungkin before this dia dah pernah terkena scammer datang kat dia and dig a lot of information, and that's the reason why they need you to get the letter. So the answer is yes and no for the letter, but consent, of course you need to get the consent, Zai, because you need to interview the owner. Kalau mereka tak agree, macam mana you nak dig out information for them and later propose the solution for the company? I hope that answers your question, Zai.
Yes, thank you very
Alright.
much, Dr.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Iboni, if I can
Yes.
add a bit to Zai's
Yes.
question just now, talking about the confidentiality of data. So it's important to all students, and in fact, including me and Dr.
Lecturers.
Iboni as researcher. So any of these private and confidential data, you don't have to put in the report. What I mean here is that, for instance, the company may share with you some financial data about their company or about that particular product or brand profile. So you don't have to share that, meaning to say, to give example, profit exactly, how much is the profit or total sales for that year and so on. Now, you may work with sort of like some percentage, some percentage. Example, you said that, okay, the sales is dropping. To me, I see it as you don't have to put this every single cent of that. This is the total sale for year 1. The number. This is total sale for year 2. You may just work with the percentage. Example, sales for year 2021 dropped by 10%. Example, yeah. So to me, this is how you're going to work or to handle the confidentiality of data, because when the company share that data with you, it is the responsibility of us as the researcher, you as the researcher, to keep the confidentiality of that data. Yeah. So let's say you work with the company, so you may have an access to this kind of confidential data. So please be careful. You don't have to share everything. Yeah, you make use of that in something that makes sense. Yeah, something that makes sense. Is it clear, Zai?
Yes, Doctor. Thank
Alright,
you.
yeah. So the same thing goes to example we talk about. Maybe some of you do HR kan, ya, talent management. Example, the problem. Tu nak kata problem ke, symptom ke, effect. Turnover very high. Turnover maksudnya employees that leave the organisation. Dia ada dua, voluntary or involuntary turnover. They may share with you, maybe. They may share with you the number. Year 1, quarter 1, or the first year, year 2, year 3, and so on. I don't think you have to spell out one by one, tahun ni 3 orang, tahun ni 2 orang. You may just work within that, yeah, roughly. For year 20 to 22, example, the percentage of turnover rate is about 20%, contohnya, ya. But you already give the number of the employees. So daripada tu, reader dah boleh get some idea lah. This is what I mean by kena jaga lah data. Data daripada company tu. Sebab company ni real company yang memang exist. So you have to look after that. Yeah. So I hope that guna orang kata kebijaksanaan you lah. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Thank you. So Aziz, ada soalan yang lain?
Okay, there's one question from Leona. Okay, you are
Right.
asking about final project paper can be published. The answer is yes,
Be
but
published in the academic website.
only be published by the students. Okay, bukan semua orang boleh publish. Tetapi it's not the final project paper. It is published in the form of journal. Okay, journal. If you want to write, okay, an article, okay, and or you want to present your case, yes, you can do that. However, again, whenever you write a journal article paper, or whenever you want to present your case in a conference, you must take into consideration of the what we call the confidentiality. You cannot disclose the company name, okay? You cannot disclose the detail lah yang tadi tu ringgit and cents and whatnot, okay? So Leona, I hope that answers your question. Yes, it can be. No, Shafawani, can you please mute? It can be published in the form of journal article, and that journal article itu can only, siapa yang boleh publish is the students and the lecturer lah, working together. You have to work with your supervisor in order to come out, okay, to write a paper, which of course your supervisor would be monitoring how you write, and dia yang akan tapis what information can go out and what information cannot go out. Okay, especially the name of the organisation is a no-no. Kita tak kata company ABC. No, selalunya kita cakap mungkin if you are doing a hotel, contohnya you are doing a hotel and that hotel is ABC hotel, and that hotel falls under the category of 3-star hotel. Perhaps in your journal article tu, when you write your article, you are not going to say ABC hotel. No, you are going to say a 3-star hotel in general, a boutique hotel, a 4-star hotel, a 5-star hotel. Okay, so you must change that, because kita memang tak boleh disclose, personal information. In fact, when you interview the person, the general manager, you should not put the name of the general manager there. Okay, you just use the general manager atau the founder atau the consultant atau the customer service manager. That's how you do it. Alright. Leona, did I answer your question? Ada Leona? Tak ada. Okay. Siapa lagi ni? Hasniza.
Shafinas,
Okay,
Dr.
Shafinas.
Ivoni, that's
Okay, mana
about
Shafinas?
dual master program at Stuttgart University.
Dual
Maybe
master. Yeah,
you can refer to Dr.
Arlina.
Arlina, Shafinas,
Yes.
and us lah from the academic of the arrangement for the dual master degree at Stuttgart University. Okay, Shafinas?
Yes, sebab dia lain
Keep in
sikit.
touch.
Dia lain
Yeah,
sikit.
keep
Dia
in
tak
touch.
sama ya, Shafinas.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hasniza, yes. What questions you have? Hasniza from Sungai Petani. Tak ada. Okay, anybody? Kita open balik semula. So we have answered Leona, we have answered Shafinas. You have to refer Shafinas kepada GIA department. They have a better idea and explanation on how to choose. Okay, selalu mereka ada special rules sikit lah because you are doing dual. You are not like the normal. You ada DNA lain sikit. Your DNA is dual masters. Alright, any other questions? We have one. Siapa lagi ni yang nak tanya soalan? Hasniza tak ada. Hasniza, you said you okay. Okay, for Shah Alam. Maximum. For Shah Alam, ABP 3. For Shah Alam.
3 orang. That's right.
3 orang ya. Untuk okay, like this. Untuk operational macam ni, if you are from Cawangan, you have to refer to your coordinator at the Cawangan because they have plans. We allow 3 to a group because we have so many students. Kita ada ramai students and we can afford, to have 3 in a group because we have too many students. For Cawangan, sometimes your coordinator decided that only 2 because dia mungkin nampak ada 8 orang dia dalam satu kelas tu. So dia nak buat nampak bagi meriah, okay? Dia nak 4 kumpulan, so they would put 3. Okay, maximum is 3, but they want to put 2. Okay, so you have to refer to your coordinator dekat Cawangan. Hasniza. Okay, Hasniza, ada soalan lagi? Student Shah Alam faham ke ni? Shah Alam AAGBS Shah Alam, are you okay? But no, I'm sure that you are okay because you would have to refer to your BRM lecturers juga sebenarnya. Your BRM lecturers can help you to perhaps bagi some pencerahan during your class because they are also an expert. Kita panggil apa? Advisors or supervisors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Ivoni, I don't know whether you have highlighted this Shah Alam group, tapi maybe sebab semua ada kan Shah Alam Estate Campuses, nak just highlight lah about working in a team, working in a team, working in a group. So ABP ni kita set as to train our students to be the business consultant, business consultant, and as we know, very unlikely for a consultant to work alone. Dia dalam kumpulan. So now you work with your peers, from the proposal stage up to the final report lah, maksudnya daripada awal sampai habis. Okay, now we just share some of the cases that we face or went through here of students ABP. Ni about commitment, this is about commitment. So as a group work, of course, commitment from each of the team members are very important, are very important. So work closely among yourself. Of course, I always say to my student, each of us termasuk I sendiri, ada kelemahan, ada kekuatan. And you pegang tu saja. Ada kelemahan, ada kekuatan. Setiap orang, So you work in the team to capitalize or to optimize this particular strengths. Jadi mungkin kelemahan you tu orang lain ada kelebihan dia, So this is where you work in the team. Mungkin kita kata senanglah cakap kan, tapi it can be done, it can be done. So that you work in the team, memang kena sama-sama bekerja, sama-sama buat. So apa-apa always communicate with your supervisors. What we don't want to happen and to hear is that ni selalunya Dr. Ivoni, kita akan dapat all this kind of news bila lagi seminggu nak submit, lagi 2 minggu nak submit, lagi seminggu nak viva. Waktu itulah kita dapat from our students hantar, saya sebenarnya tak okey dengan team member saya ni. Lepas tu yang lain pula bagi tahu, team members ni tak buat kerja, yang ni seorang buat. Well, we are all adult ya, adult learners. So benda ni jangan buat benda last minute. Itu pertama ya. Kedua, always keep in touch among yourself. Although we are now working online, boleh je sama-sama you nak initiate buat Google Meet ke apa sebab tak boleh jumpa kan face to face and so on. In fact, boleh pun kalau nak jumpa ya, kalau semua dah okay, vaksin apa semua tu, jumpa. And always keep in touch with your supervisor. Ada apa-apa isu, apa-apalah ya among yourself dalam group ni, always discuss and keep in touch with your supervisor. Because bila you refer pada kita pun, the first person yang akan kita refer to is your supervisor. Because he or she is the best person that knowing about you in the sense that they are the appointed advisor. Yeah. So macam advisor sendiri kadang dia nampak student macam okay, semua work well. Tapi bila nak submit tu benda tak siap. Itulah yang ada benda-benda yang tak berapa seronok lah kita dengar ya. Ini tak itu, ini semualah this and that. Okay. Jadi my point here is that because I also have my own student ya. I sendiri sebagai advisor, sebagai examiner. Memang sangat penting lah ya, working as a team. Ada apa-apa isu, ada apa-apa problem, be open, discuss sama-sama, cari penyelesaian, always talk to your advisor. Ya, always talk to your advisor. Itu satu. At the same time, working with the supervisor, kita dah letak dalam what we call guideline tu, satu semester paling kurang how many times you have to meet your supervisor. Meet here means that include online session. Mungkin you ada WhatsApp group contohnya, ya, you always communicate with your advisor. That's also counted. Maybe you nak buat Google Meet session sebab tak semua benda kita boleh just type dalam WhatsApp. Dan kita still nak this kind of session. Ataupun you come to the campus and meet your advisor. Semua tu dikira sebagai communication lah dengan your advisor. Because ada juga yang kita dapat feedback daripada advisor, daripada supervisor, student diam sama ada langsung tak jumpa, tiba-tiba produce the research hantar. So advisor dia nak sign tu, dia tak nak. Soalan dia, where you get this, how you do this and so on kan, tak dapat the supervision and all those things, atau langsung tak jumpa and tak ada apa-apa yang diproduce at the end of the semester. So end up sama ada TL, sama ada, tengoklah kepada timing you tu bila. And this is not really good because tadi ya, remember, ini semua dalam team. So satu benda tu akan affect semualah team members in the group itself. So itulah yang I nak emphasize dekat sini ya. Ada cases, tak banyak tapi ada, and we hope that not to see lah this kind of issue lah ya. Semua benda boleh diselesaikan. Alright? Itu je Dr. Ivoni yang nak sampaikan to our students, all
again,
our students.
Tadi siapa yang tak datang, yang tak sempat nak join yang SOP briefing tadi tu, untuk for your 792 ya, 792 or 781, okay, presentation of Viva is a compulsory, wajib, okay. It does not mean that you submit your final report, okay, 791, 792, you tak attend and you think you can pass. You will not pass if you don't attend your Viva presentation. You know why? Because it is 30%. 30% and markah lulus adalah 65% B. Do you think you can get 65 over 70 for your report? I don't think so. Okay, so that's why you have to attend your Viva presentation. Okay, you have to attend your Viva presentation because it carries 30% out of your total marks. Okay, itu satu. And I would like to add this on Dr. Siti punya point tadi in terms of working in teams and working with your supervisor. 791 you would only work with your supervisor after you dah diberikan siapa supervisor you. So kan I dah share kan your deadlines to submit the forms to the faculty. Okay. After that, only you would have to work with your supervisor. And then you have, I think, about 2 months to work your proposal with your supervisor. Jangan tunggu sehingga, do not wait until the 11th hour then only you contact your supervisor. Macam Dr. Siti cakap tadi, Doctor, this is my proposal. This proposal is approved in your BRM class. Sorry, it does not work that way. Okay, sorry, it does not work that way because BRM and ABP is 2 different codes. The only thing is that you are lucky if you can carry the same project for the 2 codes. Okay, sometimes, okay, BRM ini selalunya kita tak particular sangat. Okay, I am teaching BRM 701. I'm not particular about um, uh, the certain things in the BRM. Tapi of course, it has got to be based on kita panggil apa, real business problem and active companies. Okay, cuma topik tu I tak kisah sangat. Okay, as long as you can do your BRM project, that's good for me. You know why? Because my role as a BRM lecturer, I want to make sure you understand what is BRM, how to do it, how to do applied business research. However, for ABP, your supervisor may have some additional requirements. Mungkin dia nak ada some flavor, to put in her flavor into the project. That's why sometimes, even though your BRM lecturer says this is okay for BRM, like for my students, my own students last semester, ABP791, I'm not sure if they are in here. Semester ni mereka ambil 792. You know, they suddenly they said, Doctor, this proposal is approved in BRM, for BRM. I said, that is BRM. Okay, whatever your BRM lecturer says, that's okay for her, that's okay. But for ABP, I want you to include certain things because I found that the application, the applied part is tidak memenuhi my preferred way of doing it, okay, as the supervisor. So from that BRM proposal, I said, okay, I want you to add this because this is tak kena. When I read, you know why? Because BRM lecturers ada banyak benda yang dia nak kena baca, beberapa proposal yang dia nak kena baca for BRM. But as a supervisor, I only focus on your ABP proposal. So I have more in-depth understanding and I have more time to go through your proposal. So that's why I would put in my flavor into my students' proposal. So what I did was last semester, it was a hard time for them. I don't care. So nak jadi student I memang macam itulah. Okay, hard time for them. I said, no, you redo this, you redo that, you redo this, you redo that. Until the ABP, I'm the ABP supervisor, puas hati. Okay, now I can finally smile at your proposal. Okay, then only lepas. Okay, so the two BRM and ABP tidak sama. It's not the same, but it has some link and connection. Okay, it has some link and connection. Alright, BRM. Okay, now other question on BRM. Nur Asma, if I may ask, you are from which program? Asma, we are from which program? 701. Okay. Untuk weekend mode, executive mode, you would have your BRM depending on your module lah, your module. I think BRM kali ni untuk AA701, the module will start in module 2. So you would learn something dulu, first module ni, and then masuk module 2 baru you ada BRM weekly class. Okay. By the time, macam ni Asma, by the time you have to, I think by the time your nama keluar, nama advisor you keluar, you already have your BRM class. I think sebab I tengok jadual untuk AA701, BRM for all the classes are module 2. Kan Asma? So the answer is you are not going to have a weekly class, you are only going to have a modular class lah, that 5 weeks class tu. Okay, 5 weeks class. BRM, you go to class, ikut class timetable you. Same goes for full time, you ada weekly 14 weeks. Evening track, you have weekly 14 weeks. But for AA701 or EMBA, you have weekly 5 weeks. Boleh Asma? Is that clear? Alright. So from now, since you tak ada lagi BRM, you just boleh fikir-fikir, you know, discuss, cari kawan-kawan, and then perhaps, for example, kalau you ada subjek apa, first module tu, maybe you want to think along that area, okay, ataupun you dah part 3, you dah belajar masa part 1, you have learned few subjects in part 1, you have also learned few subjects in part 2, right? You can think about which area yang you nak marketing, you nak strategic management ke, you nak leadership ke, depending, you nak buat change management ke. So based on that, you can start thinking about your apa tu topik untuk your ABP, because you all jumpa your BRM lecturer module 2. So itulah dianya. Alright, okay. Asma, anything else? Untuk AAGBS Shah Alam ya, please refer to the guideline ya. I dah bagi dalam kita punya Telegram group. Okay, that is your info pack and SOPs. In the SOPs pun dah letak ya. Memang sebiji lah, sama macam Dr. cakap. Work closely with your team member and work closely with your advisor. Okay, itu dia. Hukum dia macam gini ya. I would like to stress again. Untuk ABP 791, we understand you for now you cannot start. But it is a proposal. So after you are assigned to a advisor, then you work closely with them. However, for ABP 792, tidak ada alasan. There's no reason that you say you cannot finish your report because you have completed your proposal. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, you have completed last semester. Kan? That's why you lulus. That's why you lulus. So from now onwards, you have what, 3 months to work on your chapter 4 and chapter 5 and refining the whole report. So to me, if you say you can't finish on time, I think that is not acceptable. I'm so sorry, that is not acceptable. Because later macam Dr. Siti cakap, hujung-hujung dah seminggu lagi nak submit, deadline untuk submit. Tengok ya dalam Gantt tu ada saya letak submission bila. Then only you text me, Doctor, can we ask for extension? The answer is definitely no. Why? Because I would say, on the 2nd of April, I told you that this is the deadline and you have 3 months to work on it. You are not working from zero, but you only need to refine your chapter 1 to chapter 3 and work for your chapter 4 and chapter 5. So you actually work from zero untuk chapter 4 and chapter 5 sahaja. Don't tell me you don't have enough time to work for chapter 4 and chapter 5. You have 3 months to work on it. So work from now. In fact, I'm sure Dr. Siti and student I masa cuti semester hari tu, I drill them to work on whatever they need to work. There's no cuti semester for them for their ABP 792. Okay, my students immediately after they submit ABP 791, I'm cruel, yes, ABP 791, I said now you work on ABP 792. Think about how you want to report your final report and draft skeletal of chapter 4 and chapter 5. My students are doing it now already, even though they belum collect data. I told them to draft your skeletal chapter 4 and chapter 5 because I don't want to dengar nanti dia kata, Doktor saya tak sempat. Bukan tak sempat. You have to manage your time. Okay. Kenapa kita bagi tahu awal? Because I understand some of you are working. Okay. Especially AA 700 full time tak ada masalah ya, because you full time. Part time, be it evening track or MBA, you have to work smart. Okay. You commit to do this MBA AA 700 part time, AA 701 evening track, modular class atau MBA executive track. You commit yourself. So tolong faculty. I want you to help the faculty to ease the process for yourself to submit your final project. Okay, tolong. Okay, satu lagi, I'm sure some of you yang ABP 792 dah pergi ya REC ethics punya briefing hari tu. Last week I think ada ethics briefing by our research unit. Okay, so for ethics you don't ask me or you don't ask the academic office. You need to ask the ethics department, our research unit department AAGBS, And you can also discuss that with your supervisor or advisor, because your advisor pun dah expert sebenarnya. Okay, they have been supervising and we have been doing this ethics since ODL 1. Sekarang kita dah ODL 5.0. So every semester kita dah ada ethics ini. So you can, actually, refer to your advisor in terms of ethics, forms and whatnot. In fact, mereka yang akan perlu sign the ethics. Siapa yang belum hantar ethics ABP792, please do it quickly. Okay, quickly. How to do it? I'm sure you have attended the briefing last week. I think Dr. Herwina, that unit handles it. And if you have any questions, you have to refer to that unit and you refer to your advisor. My students dah hantar. I'm sure ramai student Dr. Siti pun dah hantar kot. Have to ingatkan you all, walaupun ni, sebab kalau you tak ada ethics, you tak boleh collect data sebenarnya. It is a blanket policy by the university, bukan faculty. But what you need to do is you fill in the ethics form, get your supervisor to check and sign, and then you resubmit to the research unit of AAGBS. Ada, masuk website AAGBS, dekat situ again, masuk website AAGBS, cari research unit, cari ethics, cari link to submit. Semua dekat situ. That's why you have to really browse AAGBS website. We have a beautiful website with a lot of information, information rich. Website kita lah saya rasa paling lengkap lah. Tak tahulah kot kan. Saya rasa website kita paling lengkap. Everything ada kat situ. Almost everything ada kat situ. So please students do that. Alright. Anything else? Dah 11:30 kita ada. Yes.
So Iboni, just to add
Yeah.
a bit about ethics approval for the research. I'm sure unit research have explained this, but just put it this way, students, how to fill up atau to complete the REC form, the content is actually coming from your proposal. Yeah. So what you need to do is just to address the key points. You're not going to copy and paste every single thing in the form. What you need to do is to answer the question or to furnish the information needed for each of the parts in that particular form. Yeah, so the source tu, it comes from your own proposal. So you summarize lah mana yang perlu summarize, transfer, masukkan dalam that form. And bear in mind, dalam REC ni, one of the component that is compulsory, right, Dr. Ivoni, is where the student have to give a copy of the questionnaire.
Yes.
Jadi questionnaire you, terutama yang nak buat survey lah, those yang nak buat interview, what you need to submit together with the form is the
Questions.
Interview question. Draft ataupun sepatutnya dah real question lah ya. Question that you want to ask to your participant or respondents. Now, the key idea of REC here is that, and why it should take place before data collection is that the committee of the university want to ensure that dalam kita punya research tu, the example kita research tu dah tulis lah apa objective, topic and all those things, how you going to collect the data and all those things. But when we look at the questionnaire itself, the university want to ensure that it's not touch anything which is sensitive question. Sensitive question. That is the key things about ethics. Sensitive in the sense that perhaps the question is something yang kita mungkin to us okay je soalan ni, tapi to the respondent when they read is actually you may humiliate them, ya. You mungkin ada benda yang participant rasa the question is something like you look down on a certain people, example, ya. Or you ask a questions that sebenarnya tak ada kena-mengena pun dengan research tu. Contohnya lah ya, contohnya something like a belief on something and so on. So it all goes back to how you design your questionnaire, and that questionnaire, the survey content must align with your research objective and problem statement. Sebab tu bila you submit mesti dah ada questionnaire, ya. So siapkan questionnaire tu dulu. Proposal dah siap kan, variable semua dah cari, indicator of the variable items lah, maksud you nak form questionnaire pun dah ada, then you put them together, you produce the survey or the questionnaire, hantar sekali dengan research tu. Jadi bila dia ada penilai, penilai untuk ethics application ni, dia akan cross check lah apa yang you tanya tu. Satu, tak ada benda yang sensitif. Second, yes, these are things that you need to ask your respondents. You tak bertanya benda yang you tak perlu tahu dan you tak perlu tanya pun. Ya? Ataupun maybe ada benda yang you tanya, tapi wording tu dia jadi something yang sama ada tak clear ataupun yang tadilah meaning dia jadi lain. Responden baca dia rasa macam you are saying something to them, you know, that kind of things lah yang sebenarnya the what we call ethics ni kepentingan. I emphasizing this because I want to sure that you know what you're doing and you know why ethics approval is important. Not just because of kena buat je lah, hantar je lah. Tapi apa sebenarnya purpose of ethics ni? So I just share with you when I did my PhD in the UK, Dr. Yvonne ni. Tak lepas etik memang you tak boleh collect data. Dia check satu persatu you punya soalan tu in particular. Sebab some research, sebab tu dia minta dia declare, you also been asked to declare whether it's minimal risk, high risk, risk tu pada siapa? Pada responden you, pada responden you.
Because you are collecting the data about them.
Yes. Kita actually asking favor from respondent untuk menjawab questionnaire kita. So soalan yang kita tanya tu mestilah yang tidak
menyinggung.
Yes, that's right. That's the key points. That's the key point. Or some cases, macam kita mungkin kurang social sciences. Kurang tu maksud I dari segi resiko. Those yang doing example lah medical study, farmasi contohnya. Dia mungkin melibatkanlah human punya ni. Itu lagilah dia memang high risk and of course adalah dia punya apa panggil specific procedure. To us yang I nampak some of this is about very much about it's low risk tapi the way that we ask questions. And then adakah kita bertanya benda yang mesti kita perlu tahu ataupun kita just letak je soalan tu. So sebelum you hantar tu you bacalah betul-betul
forms,
pastikan kena ada critical thinking tu. Ask yourself, do we need this question? If yes, have you asked or have you put that in a correct way? Perlu ke tak nak rewording whatsoever? Buat yang terbaik. Yang dah terbaik itulah you hantar kepada your supervisor for her or for him to sign. Then after that you submit to the REC committee accordingly. Accordingly. So Dr. Herwina would be the person in charge kan, Dr. Yvonne. So anything maybe you tak sure ke apa, contact her, email her, asking and all those things. Right? I hope that you get the key point lah about REC.
REC tu, if you look at REC form, you can, walaupun you baru ABP791, you can take a look at the REC form. It's in the website. Kalau you tengok, dia minta sikit je pun. Problem statement 100 words. Tak payah you tampal everything that you have put in your proposal. Maksudnya, whatever that you put in your proposal, jangan pula you kata proposal pun buat 100 words. No. In your proposal, of course, you kerangkan with much more detail. Tetapi when you put it into the REC form, you simplified your problem statement in your proposal. I tak silap I lah, 100 words je dia nak. Okay, 100 words sahaja. So you make sure you are able to explain 100 ke 50 macam. Tapi I rasa 100 sebab I terkejut itu tengok student I 100 macam mana nak buat ni. So peninglah kepada kita orang meng-100kan words tu daripada beberapa paragraph yang you buat tu. So look at the form, okay. Tengok apa requirement dia. Kalau 100 words, 100 words lah. Kalau 200 words, 200 words lah. Kalau 300 words, 300 words lah. Okay, and then also dia akan minta references. Okay, if they minta references, yes, you have to put references accordingly to what you have written in the REC form. Masalahnya sekarang ialah if you don't study the form. Okay, sebelum you isi form, you have to study the form first. Okay, study the form, kaji form tu apa maklumat yang perlu that you must put in the form. Alright, that is for AAGBS Shah Alam students. However, for cawangan, because I believe cawangan are also here, alright, I think you pun ada REC committee di cawangan, campus cawangan you. So you have to refer to your coordinator kat sana. I believe the process is similar, cuma I tak tahu dekat cawangan you kena hantar kat siapa. So go back to your coordinator, tanya di cawangan hantar kepada siapa. Okay, because I'm sure there is a special committee di cawangan. Untuk di Shah Alam, kita ada committee di Shah Alam. Alright?
Okay,
Alright,
right.
any more questions?
Any other questions before we end the session? Ada soalan lain?
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
I'm
Siti.
Suharti from UiTM Pulau Pinang,
Okay.
SEM 4.
Alright,
So
Siti.
saya punya question, when we send the question app, maybe not all the respondent will respond to our question kan? So for let's say in our research, we target about 184 respondent, which is 184 company lah. So let's say we receive maybe about 30 or 50%. Should we mention that we send this 184 question to the 184 respondent, but unfortunately we just got about 50%. So can we mention, or we just do whatever information that we have based on the
Okay, Suharti,
data?
I'm sorry I have to say this. Yang ini you bawa berbincang dengan your advisor sebenarnya. This is already about the report kan? The content of your report. So who is your supervisor? You berdiscuss dengan your supervisor. Your supervisor would have a better idea on how to help you report. Okay, in terms of reporting, macam kita kata tadi, you work closely with your supervisor. Okay, what we are doing here is just to explain what you should do sahaja in general. Okay, in terms of whether you should report A or whether you should report B, you have to work closely with your supervisor, Suhati. Boleh ya?
Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
So memang you kena discuss untuk semua orang pun. In fact, some of my students come and ask me, Doktor boleh cakap, first question I tanya, siapa supervisor you? Go and ask your supervisor. Because student ni kadang-kadang dia malu ke segan ke tak tahulah. Dia tak mau pergi speak to dia punya supervisor. They find somebody who is easier to speak atau nak communicate. Okay, remember your supervisor is waiting for you actually. You tak tahu je, your supervisor is waiting for you. Sometimes the supervisor come and text me, mana student I, tak contact I lagi. So sedih saya, kita dah arrange for the matching but you did not contact your supervisor. You walaupun supervisor you tak contact you, you make that first step, make that first move, introduce yourself in the email. Kalau you tak ada phone number, in the email, cari email dekat tu. Once you dah dapat once kita dah bagi you approved supervisor, search for information. Yes, cari mereka.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So Harti, just to a bit to add here. Yes, what Dr. Iwani said is correct. Yeah, you discuss this with your supervisor. But if I'm your supervisor, what I want to listen from you is that you tell me what you have done and why you think you want to add this, or why you think you don't want to highlight this and that. That's what I want to hear from you. You get it, Sati? So let's say you kata, okay, our sample size, we calculate it is 184. We have distributed that to 184. However, 30% only of them responded. So you tell me whether I think I want to put this in my research methodology chapter because it shows my effort. Example, I want to hear that kind of justification as the advisor. So if you said that, okay, we decided untuk just to highlight those that already submitted the responses, example, yeah. So it also must have some justification there. 30%. What if the examiner may ask, actually, how many of the respondent that you have approached? Yeah, you have approached. So kalau you maksudnya kat situ tak ada lagi jawapan dia. But if you already put there in your write up, perhaps there are some reason lah why respondent tak jawab. Yang lagi berapa? 60% example that not answer. Yeah. So I hope Suharti you'll be able to make a decision here. convince your advisor. And always I said just now, advisor is someone that, you know, would guide you in terms of ada benda yang blind spot ya, ataupun sounding board lah, maksudnya make sense what is it. So at the first place, you tell your advisor, this is what you did, this is what you found, why you think that you want to include, why you think you don't want to include this, and so on. So Hati, I hope that you get the point. Yeah?
Yeah, Doctor. Thank you very
Alright,
much.
Okay, welcome. Okay, so other than that, ada lagi ke? About the slide, some of you asked me about the slide that I presented just now. Well, the slide, I may not be able to share that with you. However, what I want you to read or to refer to is the guideline, the
Yes.
MBA guideline,
Sama
because
je.
that is where we summarize the slide. So I want you to read that one. And then recording, Dr. Ivoni, is that we can share with our student or how?
I think can, kalau diorang
Yeah,
nak recording mungkin boleh lah, so that
if
it's that
let's
they
say
can compare
we
dengan
can share,
guideline.
if we can share this with you, we will share the recording.
Only
Guideline tu mesti just tadi link pun I bagi at the same time Dr. Ivoni have explain, remind lah ya. Masuk dalam AGBS website, tengok bawah academic office, itu ada banyak information that you can refer to. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Ivoni, you want to say something?
Tak adalah, but remember the recording is only for you. For you, jangan pula you pergi upload dekat YouTube.
Yes,
This is also, you know what? This is also part of integrity and
Integrity and
integrity.
ethics.
This is solely for educational purposes for AAGBS student taking this code. Okay. So tolong sebab too many things has been happening. We were reminded to tapi kita nak bantu juga student kan. So we play our part, you play your part. Okay.
That's
Janganlah
right.
pula pergi post suka-suka hati you post dekat YouTube. No. Okay, if the faculty wants to post it, the faculty would do it on AAGBS website. However,
That's right.
if we want to, we want it to be for public consumption, then we will post it on the AAGBS website. However, sometimes there are things that kita kata apa, certain things yang memang solely untuk kita punya students. It's only for your own consumption, bukan untuk it's not for public consumption. Please remember that. So many things has been happening. We have been reminded, but kita di tengah-tengah tersepit. We want to help the students. So insyaAllah we will share, but at your end, ethics part tu you jaga.
Yeah, we decide on that, Dr. Ivoni,
Yes.
about the recording. However, as what I said to you, yang very clear, the guideline is there. Please refer to the guideline and
Okay.
always communicate with your supervisor. Work well in the team. Work well in the team. So the recording, we are not promising. We are not promising to share that.
Kita
So
kena tengok dulu macam mana.
belong to us lah.
Yes.
Belong to AAGBS.
Yes,
But
correct.
anytime, anything, kalau you nak email I dengan Dr. Ivoni pun, please go ahead. Things that you will not be able to get the answer from your advisor and so on. But the advisor, trust me, they are always there for you. Tapi you kena tunjuklah effort you tu. Jangan pergi tak ada apa-apa.
Your advisor are actually expert tau. They are expert in their own field. They
that's
have been
right.
teaching ABP, ABR dah lama. Tolong. They are waiting for you. Okay, now I'm pleading on behalf of your future advisors and your current advisors. Please contact them. They sometimes text me, Kak, kenapa student saya tak contact saya ni? Allah, I kata, I tak tahu nak jawab macam mana. Dah suruh dah. Sometimes I put in. That's why I remind in the group. Please contact your advisor. When I put that, bermaksud apa? Bermaksud adalah antara advisor you yang text me asking, where is my student? Why did my student contact me? Okay. So please, tolong sangat-sangat. I'm pleading for them. Please contact them. Discuss with them. They are waiting for you. Mereka sangat hendak membantu. But if you yourself, tak contact mereka, susahlah. Okay, please. Thank you very much. I think that's all from me. Tak ada apa dah, Dr. Siti. Ada lagi tak soalan yang terakhir? Few last ones?
Doktor, Assalamualaikum.
Yes,
Waalaikumsalam.
Kalau untuk Viva tu, itu based on campus masing-masing ke atau based on Shah Alam?
campus masing-masing. Your Viva will be arranged by your coordinators at your campus cawangan.
Okay.
So macam
Termasuk
ni ya.
juga dengan apa namanya
Ya.
tu yang research ethic jugalah kan?
Ya, ya. Research ethics untuk operation you have to refer to your campus cawangan. Untuk
Alright.
operation ya, what we are sharing today is just the knowledge about how you should do your ABP. Yang itu general knowledge for public consumption. Tetapi untuk
Okay.
processes, untuk documents, whatever it is, you have to refer to your coordinator di cawangan. I am sure they are more than willing to help you. Mereka pun tertunggu-tunggu sebab because you lah akan yang bergraduate kan. So they
Yeah.
want you all to graduate. So please keep in touch with them. If you have
Alright.
any problems with your supervisor, bukan problems lah. If macam tadi lah, you have problems with your team member, colleague, jumpa your coordinator, jumpa your supervisor dulu. Or bercakaplah dengan coordinator masing-masing di kampus masing-masing. Itu sahaja.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
Syafawani, Syafawani, betul I sebut nama you ya. Apa-apa please ya, student supervisor is the closest person to you lah. You put it that way ya. Jadi apa-apa talk to your supervisor. We don't want to happen that something lepas tu you bawa kepada coordinator ataupun to academic office, but your supervisor
Tak tahu.
he or she not even know what happened to the team jadi macam not nice lah kan. Apa-apa talk your supervisor. Kalau ada isu dalam group pun settle dulu internally, then only after that you ni. Dr. Ivoni, I just want to share before we end the session ya. Ini pasal structure of the ABP tu, because sometimes ada some question kan on we're talking about academic construct ya, so that business tool apa, kat mana nak highlight, dekat chapter mana nak tulis, dekat mana finding dia ya. So let me just share very brief with you. I'm going to bring you to the AGBS website ya for this one. Let me share first.
While waiting ya, Tengku Ahmad Mujahid, slides for yang mana, kalau slides untuk presentation by Dr. Siti tadi, we are not going to share that, but you must refer to the guideline. The guideline is a much more detailed version of the slide, so you must read the slide, read the guideline ya. Guideline ada kawan-kawan you dah share tadi kat atas tu link dia, so get it from the link. Okay, yes Dr. Siti continue.
That's right. Okay ya, dah nampak ke web page AGBS? Dah nampak ke belum Dr. Ivoni?
Belum.
But I'm sharing I'm sharing it.
Tak keluar lah Dr. Siti.
Keluar. Wait a minute. Yeah, I try it again. Share. Okay, maybe here. Alright. What about now?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So this is where we're talking about AGBS website. Yeah. You go to this mana? Student academic office. Yeah. Student academic office. Click it here. Then this is where all information are here in terms of deadline semua tu banyak untuk Shah Alam lah ya. However still references are all here. So this is where we talking about just now the ABP guideline ya. So I click it here just to share with you the key structure of ABP. Mana nak letak? Okay. So ni nak bring you to the ni. Tadi example semua ada dalam ni ya. Okay, tengok structure dia. Simple area. Sekejap ya. Okay, ni ya, this one. This one. Okay. This is for the finance and economics ya. No finance and economic. So you can see here of course lah ada preliminary materials and so on for your final dissertation, but I just go direct to this is abstract. Dalam proposal tak ada abstract ya, tak perlu abstract. Ini cerita final report ataupun final dissertation. But then at the same time kalau you nak take this untuk proposal, of course lah it's just nice because proposal chapter 1 sampai chapter 3. Isi dia semua dah ada kat dalam ni. So you just follow this one. Nanti bila dah collect data, then you are preparing for your final, what you call the final dissertation. You cuma tambah another 2 chapters, that is chapter 4 and chapter 5. And of course, you write the abstract of your study. Remember, kita tulis abstract last sekali. Habis semua dah siap, baru tulis abstract. Sebab abstract itu adalah ringkasan lah, ringkasan untuk the whole research. Mana P pula tadi ini okay, chapter 4. Okay, alright, here. So these are the things that you can follow. Recommended lah, recommended. Setiap chapter will start with preamble. Preamble means short introduction. Introduction tentang apa? Tentang this particular chapter. And each chapter you must close it with chapter summary. Close it with chapter summary. Okay, so setiap chapter ni ada preamble and ada chapter summary. Now, when we talk about your academic construct, so this is where you talk about business model that you want to use, example SWOT analysis, tool metrics, apa lagi, IFE, any others, any other business tool. This is the place. Masa literature, you are reviewing the strategic tools that you want to use. Contohnya you nak guna SWOT analysis. Dekat sini adalah tempat untuk you review, telling the readers what is SWOT analysis. Tapi you are not saying yet about the strength weaknesses of the company. You cuma talking about what the tools is about, what the business model is about that you want to use. Sebab nama chapter ni review. Review of what have been done by others. Now after that, then only you move to the key concept, the literature of the variables in the past study. And this usually refer to your research objective number 2 and or number 3. It depends. Some of you may only have three objective. Ada setengah mungkin ada 4 objektif. Don't go beyond that. 4 I would say is the most lah that you can have. Objektif tak perlu banyak, tapi very relevant and significant. Okay. So bila dekat sini you are only reviewing, you are only reviewing I mean analyze and synthesize, analyze and synthesize. Example, you are talking about SWOT analysis. Yes, what is SWOT analysis? Jangan tulis textbook. You are not writing any textbook. Don't just tell that SWOT analysis is this and that. Now tell, how does it work for a company? How it being used by the company out there? For what? How it help the company to solve what? You synthesize the information. Now after that, after reviewing this, then only you will be able to come up with your academic construct. With your academic construct. So conceptual framework ni, tadi example yang I show you, dia akan berada as part of the academic construct. Maksudnya a framework in a framework. So dalam academic construct you tu ada a few 2 ataupun 3 sub component ataupun sub construct. Tengok saja example yang kita bagi dalam guideline dan tadilah presentation. Okay. Now when it comes to research methodology, what you need to emphasize here is that tadi you kata contoh, you want to know what is the current situation or the current position of the company. To objective you. And you have said that you want to use SWOT analysis to help you to find an answer for this or to fulfill objective number 1. Now, when it comes to methodology, you are telling your readers that this is how that so-called as SWOT analysis will be conducted or carried out. Example, an interview, personal interview, one-to-one interview will be carried out with the management of the company. Example, for what? This is the objective, to know the strength, weaknesses of the company. Contoh, So this is the place. Methods ni is about how. How are you going to conduct the research? Termasuklah in particular to collect the data. For the tadi conceptual framework tu yang you dapat literature daripada academic lah, academic journal. Untuk methodology, you are telling how would you collect the data to answer objective number 2 and or number 3. Okay, so you are saying here that in order to find out going back to your objective, a set of questionnaire will be designed and will be distributed to siapa? Itu adalah methodology. Now, when it comes to chapter 4, di sini adalah the place where you're going to give the findings and the results of your data collection. Contoh, untuk nombor 1, dekat sini you akan start dengan SWOT analysis because it based on your objective. Kalau objektif tu current situation tadi kan, objektif number 1, flow dia macam ni lah. You start dengan objektif number 1. This is the place where you going to tell the readers what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunity and threats faced by this company, company A contohnya. Inilah tempat dia, inilah tempat dia untuk you bagi tahu. Where this data coming from? Daripada interview you tadi. Daripada you punya reading. Reading apa? Market analysis report. Reading of the current materials, business magazine and many more. Alright, you got it? Now, only after that you move to what are the findings of your survey. Ni dah masuk survey, profile of the respondent. Ni semua ni adalah tentang survey lah. Ni survey. Bila you survey tu maksud you ada quantitative data kan? So you analyze. It depends lah. Apa bentuk data analysis technique that you want to use. Is it correlation analysis, t-test, factor analysis, whatsoever. Macam mana nak identify ni? Tengok kepada objective you. Apa keperluan dia. Alright? Now, after you have this, then only you will be able to come up with those metric or those analysis here. That is to help you develop the possible recommendation. The recommendation is here? No, it's not. It's in chapter 5 because Chapter 5 is about recommendation and conclusion. And recommendation you ni adalah objektif yang kelima. Okay, so this is where you're going to put your recommendation. That's it. That's how you're going to do that. Yeah, I hope it's clear to you because ada confusion tentang kat mana nak tulis business to and so on. So the answer is it appear in every chapters with a different purpose or not different purpose, different focus, different focus. I repeat, macam methodology, focus dia, you tell the readers macam mana you nak get information about the strength, weaknesses of the company. Chapter 4, you are telling the readers, this is what we found. This is what we found. Here are the strengths of the company. Here are the opportunities that the company faced. And in chapter 5, you are relating what you found to what are the possible strategic recommendation to the company. Okay, so that's what I would like to highlight to you. So please just keep referring lah to this guideline. Hopefully that will help you in your write-up of both stage. That is for your proposal as well as for your final dissertation. Okay. So Dr. Evony, I think that's all yang tentang structure
Okay.
Ada maybe one last question ke sebelum kita and then kita end up the session.
Just to clarify untuk untuk ABP 791 792 memang tidak ada kelas. The thing that you see dalam timetable you is just for your registration purposes. Kalau kita tak letak dalam timetable, it will not appear in your student portal and you will not be able to register for the code. So tak ada kelas, but you decide with your supervisor when to discuss and meet. Okay, so ABP is no class, but you decide on your own bila nak meet. Okay, tak semestinya I letak situ Jumaat, you kena jumpa dia Jumaat. No, up to you lah. Kesesuaian and convenience to both parties, which is between you, your group and your supervisor. Kadang-kadang supervisor prefer a quick chat lunch, during lunch, sambil-sambil dia nak lunch tu, dia nak rasa dia nak bersimbang dengan you dekat Google Meet. So they may ask for that. Okay, up to them. Okay, it's up to them. Open for discussion between you and your supervisor. Alright. I think that's it's a 12 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Ada ni.
Okay, it's 12 o'clock now. Kalau tak ada apa-apa, saya minta isi attendance isi attendance list. Okay, isi attendance list. I paste one more time. Attendance list untuk ABP. Sekejap ya, control V. One more time, okay. Fill in that. We may check that from time to time. Nak tengok ni banyak soalan ni daripada yang datang ke daripada yang tak datang kursus nanti. So I think that's all for me. All the best. Good luck untuk ABP 792. Tengok balik your deadlines untuk submit and prepare for your Viva. Viva is wajib. Alright. Assalamualaikum. Thank you very much.
Okay, Assalamualaikum everyone and selamat menyambut
Berpuasa.
Ramadan.
Yep.
Okay,
Alright.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Doktor.
Waalaikumsalam
Take care, take care
Take
everyone.
care ya.
Doktor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you, Doktor.
Is my screen hilang.
Thank you, Doktor. Thank you, Doktor. Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thanks, Doktor.
Hello, Pakcik Kanta.